It's your boy Bill. Appreciate everybody, man, being part of this Feezy family. I was actually on my way to sleep. Just received a call from somebody that I used to be real tight with in the prison. I've always had contact with him, even once I transferred away from that prison. It's been a while since I heard from him, and he just hit me up. He tracked me down. And we just went down memory lane, just talking about all the old days, and then a specific individual came up. And I just got out the bed, bro, when I got off the phone with him. And I had to come record because I ain't wanted to slip my mind and then I don't think about it again for another week or two. So I just got up, bro. I had to come tell y'all about this. Now in the prison, a whole lot of people be capping and flexing, and everybody know that. I done told y'all this before. But I don't think I've went into depth on this particular situation, and I'm about to go into it. There's a lot of people, I know y'all done probably heard the saying, oh, he went to jail and found religion. There's a lot of people that goes to prison and they get into the whole religious thing and be real life faking. Now, some people I do believe is serious and they are really seeking a relationship with the Most High, which is a wonderful, beautiful thing. I've been one of them people. And some people just use it for manipulation reasons, for whatever reasons they want to do it. So I'm going to tell you about the time I personally got finessed by the preacher man, and I'm going to tell you about other situations where I personally seen people with my own two eyes portraying to be this humble, godly person, and they really turned out to be capping. So let's jump right into it. I was probably about 23, 24, I'm going to say probably about 22, 23 years old. And my whole life, bro, even from on the streets, even from when I was younger, from the time I got my first pistol in my hand when I was 13 years old, I would do wrong and wrong and wrong. And there would always be a time where I would pull myself over and be like, bro, you tripping. This ain't it. You see what happened to such and such. You see what happened to such and such. You don't need to be doing this. And then I would actually get on the straight and narrow and try to get myself together. And then over time, I fall back into it. And then I snatch myself back out of it. I've been like that my whole life. So I'm in the prison. I was really at a point where I'm like, man, you need a real relationship with the Most High. Because, I pray every day. I've been praying every day since I was a kid, every day. But it's like I'm praying, but at the same time, I'm really contradicting myself because I'm doing all kind of crazy stuff in this prison, thinking all kind of crazy thoughts. And I was praying and asking the Most High to just help me get more focused, help me get on point as far as my relationship with the Most High. Because right now I'm just feeling like I'm distracted or whatever the case is. One day, I'll never forget this day. I'm walking from the chow hall. There was a dude in my dorm. They used to call him Preach. Preach is short for preacher, or they might call him Preacher Man. I never really talked to the dude before, but I'm walking from the chow hall. He comes walking up beside me. He was like, what's up with you, bro? Round about my age. So I'm like, what's going on? So he like, I could tell, bro, you was a real good person, bro. God got a whole bunch of blessings for you. I just want you to know, bro, no matter how hard stuff get, no matter what you go through, God got a whole bunch of blessings for you. You're going to be all right. So, I went to looking at him because now I'm thinking like, dang, I already been praying, asking to help me stay more focused. Now this dude that they call the preacher, he done came up just talking to me, talking about God got a whole bunch of blessings for you. So now I'm like, hold up, now God trying to send me a message. That's what I'm thinking in my head. So I'm like saying, what made you say that? He like, bro, my anointing's so strong, bro. I could just feel what's going on. I know who good people, who now I know who got the spirit of God on them and who got the spirit of the devil on them, because the devil, he real too. The devil is in the spirit too. I'm talking about, bro, the man can talk so good, bro. I end up getting cool with the dude. And at first I felt like this man was helping me out so much, bro. Like it was so many things I had changed about myself for the better. I know for a fact for a year straight, I can honestly say I had stopped using profanity. I had stopped smoking. I had stopped dealing with certain people that just had a stupid type of mindset. I was rocking with this dude every single day, strong. It got to the point, bro, they had started calling me the Reverend. I promise you, they used to be like, they go Reverend Preach right there. I had got so cool with him. Listen, when I say this dude knew the Bible like the back of his hand, I'm talking about you can just say 1 or 2 or 3 words from a scripture. He gonna finish it off at the top of his dome. This dude ain't nothing but 23, 24 years old. I'm talking about he knew the Bible like the back of his hand. I'm talking about he was fire. He was fire with it. I remember one time earlier on, me probably being cool with him for a couple weeks. Now, the dude never went to store, right? He never made store call, but he used to have a whole bunch of food 24/7. I'm talking about he used to have food everywhere. So one day we talking and he was like, who you pay your tithes and offerings to? So I'm like, what you mean? I don't pay no tithes and offerings. So he like, yeah, you know, God said you got to pay 10%, whatever it is that you make. I'm talking about he just hitting me with it. So I'm like, dang, I know I done heard something like that before. So he like, yeah, bro. He was like, and I'm going to tell you like this is just how I go, bro. That's why when you on the streets and you pay your tithes and offerings, you pay it to your church. Everybody know the money that you put into that bucket, it goes to the pastor. Now, the pastor supposed to do the right thing with the money. He was like, but do you know why we give the money to the pastor instead of the pastor giving money to us or giving it to anybody else? You know why we do that? And I said, I mean, he run the church. He the man of God, I guess. I don't know. He was like, man, it's because he the one that was chosen. He got the strongest anointing. So that's why we got to get a preacher, the pastor, the money, and then he go and build the congregation or do whatever it is that he do with the money or even sustain his regular life. But he's the one that God give messages to directly. Now I'm thinking, now I did think, I ain't gonna lie. I said, hold up now. You get messages too direct. But I'm talking about, bro, he had me going, bro. I ain't gonna lie. So the man finessed me into giving him 10% of whatever it is I go to commissary for. I'm talking about the way he built it up, bro. It sounded so fire. He was like, yeah, bro, I got the strongest anointing at this prison. I'm saying, so how do you know that? He was like, bro, because I get messages. From the Most High, from the angels. He was like, angels talk to me sometime when I go to sleep. It come in a dream form, but they talk to me. They tell me about things that's going to go down. Woo. You really into this, bro. You got to pay 10% to whoever got the strongest anointing. He like, and if somebody come in this dorm right now and their anointing is stronger than mine, God going to tell me. He going to come to me and tell me. I'm going to feel it off the dribble as soon as he walk in, and I'm going to pay my 10% to him every week. So I was going to the store for like $60 a week, but I started giving the man like $6 a week. Man had a big old prayer card every single night, 7 days a week. Probably like at 8 p.m. I don't really remember the time, but I think it was 8 p.m. He used to do it every single night. And that's when I found out how he had all that food for real. Man, the dude had about 20 people in the dorm up under that hypnosis. It was like 20 people in the dorm giving this man $6 every single week. He was having, at the end of the week, he was having more food than the people who was going to store themselves. But the dude was so far with it. Like, it was a dude that his mama died one day. And I went to preach room and hollered at him like, hey, bro. And when I walked in, he was pacing back and forth with the Bible. And he said, hold on. His mama just died. I'm about to do a session. I'm talking to God right now. Hold on. So I leave out the room. So I put the tissue in the door for him, like, so can't nobody go in there. I just felt so good about it, bro. So one day, another dude comes into the dorm. They're from the same city, which was I want to say it was Wrightsville, Georgia, but I don't think it was Wrightsville. I think it was something right there in that area. But Wrightsville is the only name I could think of right now. But they from one of them little cities around there. This dude knows my roommate from some type of gang stuff, but he already knew him. So he's coming around to my room. This dude is from the same city that Preacher's from, but they don't really kick it too much. You see them talk every now and then, but they not really doing too much kicking it for real. I ultimately go to talking to this dude because he comes to my room all the time. And one day Preach was in there when the new dude came in the room. They talked briefly. Preach got up, left out. And then dude looked back at the door to make sure he was gone. And then he was like, man, all that capping, man. Buddy be capping. So I'm like, who you talking about, Preach? He was like, yeah. I'm like, what you mean he be capping? He said, man, all that preacher, man, this and that preacher stuff, man, that's a scam, man. That man ain't no damn preacher, man. That man flexing. He said, man, you know what that man locked up for? I said, what? He said, man, he robbed the damn church. He robbed the damn church.
church.
I say, what? He robbed the church? He said, man, the man robbed the church, bro. I said, I'm saying, what he get? What he stole some equipment or something? He said, no, I don't know how it worked. However, whatever they do with all the money, obviously they don't go drop it off at the bank every week or whatever the case. But he said, man, it was a whole bunch of money in the church. I think it was like 20, 30,000. He said, man, the man got the money. He said, but the man is a hit man for real on the streets. He said, that's really what he do. I guess the people he do hits for, they just ain't had no work for him when he went and robbed the church. He said, bro, the man is a hit man. The man is a gang member. The man, folks got all the bricks. I'm talking about, he's saying all kind of crazy stuff about Preach. So I'm like, nah, bro. He's like, bro, I promise you, I'm telling you. So I don't say nothing to Preach about it. I'm just like, because everything people say, I don't feel like deserves a response, or I don't feel like it deserves energy. But what I will do in certain situations, I will pay attention more, but I'm still not going to put, just all my energy or even saying it out my mouth. Hey, bro, such said, I'm going to just pay attention to you a little bit. I started paying attention to Preach a little bit, and I did start noticing certain little things was a little funny or whatever. So I'm thinking in my head, if this man is a hit man, if he really just be pulling hits on people and doing this and that, why would he a gang member, why would he come to the prison and be the preacher man? How do this man know the Bible like the back of his hand? You talking about he robbed the damn church. Preach ended up getting out. Preach got out, bro. He wasn't even out a week. The same dude that told me that, the homeboy dude, he was like, hey, come here real quick. So I'm like, what's up? He said, you want to see your boy? I said, who? He said, you want to see your boy, Preacher Man? So I said, yeah. He said, yeah, he just sent me some pictures the other day. Look. He showed me on the phone. He's sitting back somewhere, linked back. The man got a bandana tied around his head. I'm not going to say what color and what gang he was representing because that don't matter. Man had a bandana wrapped around his head, clearly representing the gang. On his lap, it looked like two Mac 11s, like one on, damn near like on both legs. It was in his lap, but it was two of them. He had a stack of money, like in front of the Mac 11s, and he was throwing up a gang sign in the picture, smiling. I couldn't believe it. I said, ain't no way this man just was doing all that. I got his number from dude one day. So I called him. The man answered the phone in a gang type of answer, like he didn't know who it was. So I'm like, what's up, bro? This Bill, this C Bill. So he's like, oh, what going on, bro? So I'm like, man, what's up with you, bro? I had done seen the picture of you, bro. Before I even finished, the man hung up. He was flexing, and he was playing with God, you know what I'm saying? And the thing that's so funny about it, right now he's in prison again. This is his second time. This is his second time in prison again since the last time I seen him. So it's like he can't even stay out of trouble now, you know what I'm saying? This takes us to number 2, the next preaching flexer, the next flexing preacher. You had a dude that was, I think I told y'all about this dude. Kind of do think I told y'all about this dude now, so I ain't even gonna go too deep into him because I think I did a video about this already, so I'm gonna just make a quick overview and then I'm going to number 3. Okay, so basically this dude was the preacher man. Everybody respected him. He was real big on that Bible. He knew about everything had to do with the Bible. Anything got to do with God. I'm talking about anything. He knows all about it. He's against everything that the Bible is against. And then one day somebody walk in the room and catches him in there with a homosexual. He was allegedly doing some type of prayer or something to take that homosexual spirit off of this man. Some people walked in the room and he was in there doing a prayer. All right. This takes us to number 3. All right, so it was a guy. We used to call him Bishop. Bishop was an old school dude. Bishop had been locked up about 20 years. He had a lot of respect, bro. I ain't gonna lie. This dude, he seemed to be very humble, and he was a cool dude, bro. He didn't cuss. He didn't sag his clothes. He didn't have no tattoos. He didn't have none of that. Now, his story allegedly was he was real big into the church while he was on the streets. There was a situation where something happened, something very tragic happened to his daughter. And when that happened, it psyched him out. And the person that did what they did to his daughter, he went and killed him broad daylight. So that's how he ended up getting locked up and getting charged with a life sentence. So this dude is the preacher in the prison. He's the preacher, man. He's the dude that everybody goes to about all their issues, just like the other previous preacher mans that I've talked about. Real good with the Bible, can talk real good, all this type of stuff. These preachers be having what they got called a prayer call or a prayer circle, and usually it's every night. Some of them only do it 3 days a week or whatever the case is. This dude, he used to do his every night. The prayer circle is when a bunch of inmates will get together. You'll put your arms, I'll put this arm on one dude's shoulder, this arm on one dude's shoulder, and it'll be a big old circle of us doing it. And then while we doing it, everybody had their head bowed, and then the preacher, man, he'll be preaching. We'll either do that or we'll hold hands, or some of the preachers say they don't want people holding hands because spirits jump. One spirit will jump on your body, so they say just ball up your fist and just touch fist. And everybody will bow their head. So this dude, first we used to do this, then he said we're just going to touch fists, and he used to bow his head and pray like this. So when I say the dude was very dedicated to this, he wasn't like the other preacher. He wasn't trying to tell nobody to give him none of their commissary, to pay tithes, none of that. So, he seemed a tad bit more legit. Okay, from my understanding, he had a wife. But I started noticing that, like, every time I turned around, he was saying something about this woman, something about that woman, or whatever the case is. So it started making me guess, like, wonder what he had going on, but I wasn't going to judge him because I know, you're in the prison, you're a man, you're on his phone all day. So if you're talking to this girl, this your wife, and then she had worked for 10 hours and then you got 10 hours to do nothing on the phone, I'm not going to judge you and say who you're talking to or texting. That's none of my business. It did seem a bit flaky for somebody to be the preacher man, to be the one that's looked at like that. You know what I'm saying? That seemed a bit flaky. We was making something to eat one day, bro, and he was having me run in his room. He was cooking. I was really like his prep. I was really just helping him do little stuff. He was sending me to his room. Bill, go grab that. Go grab that. Go grab this out the room. Go get that out the locker box. Go clean this bowl out. Go do this. And I was just doing it. I was just helping him out, bro. I ain't got no pride issues. I don't care about going to clean out no bowl or nothing like that. He had a phone, and he told me one time, he was like, hey, you need to use the phone? After I got done handling everything I was handling, I said, yeah. He said, it's up there on my bed, bro. Just go up there and use it. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I went up there. It was on top of a writing tablet, but it was plugged up on the charger. I looked at the percentage on the battery. The battery was low, so I didn't unplug it. I just pulled the door up, sat down on the foot end of the bed, and I went to using the phone. I'm not being nosy. I'm not trying to be in nobody's business, but it's a writing tablet right there. So at the very top of the writing tablet, it said, I don't remember the name exactly, but it was a female name. We're just going to make up a name. It said Veronica. Right up under that, it said, what's going to get her, with a colon. So I'm like, what is going to get her? And then it said Proverbs. Right up under that, it was a long line. Then it was another name. It said Ashley. What is going to get her, with a colon, and it said Ezekiel. So I'm thinking like, hold up now. And like I said, I'm not trying to look at the man's stuff, bro, but this was just different, right? So it's got these women names, then it got what is going to get her, and then it had the name of a book out the Bible. The list went on and on and on and on and on. And then some of them is even more specific, like one of it said Job, chapter 13, verse 13, what is going to get her? At the bottom of the paper, bro, the very bottom of the paper, where it said what is going to get her, it was like 3 names that I know for a fact had a check next to them, and behind that check, it had a $sign with a certain amount of money next to it. Each of the amounts was at least $3,000 or more. That had me extremely curious to know what did he really have going on? Like, what was going on for real, for real? I didn't say nothing about it for a while. I just used the phone and just minded my business, you know what I'm saying? I go back down there, we eat and stuff, and I got something. It's like it's on my chest, bruh, but I just won't say it, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like I feel like I can't ask the man about it without it seeming like I was just in his business or I was snooping through, which I really wasn't doing, bro. It was just right there in my face and it just caught my attention. So I want to ask him about it, but I can't really just ask him about it, like I say, without it making it seem like I was doing something I ain't had no business doing. One day I'm just chilling on the top range like I usually do, and I'm just sitting there, and I seen him come out of his room, and I was looking at him. Once he got down there to the water faucet, just on cue off the dribble, he turned around and looked back up at me. So I turned my head a little bit. So he got his water, he went back upstairs, went to his room. Once he got to his door, he hurried up and looked back at me. I hurried up and looked off again. So he said, "See, Bill." So I said, "What's up?" He said, "Come here, little bro." So I went down in the room. I said, "What's up?" He said, "Bro, what you got on your mind?" I said, "What you mean?" He was like, "Bro, you know, I done dealt with so many people, bro, and you know, God give me such good acumen and judgment and character and judgment of my surroundings." He said, "Bro, I know it's something wrong with you." He said, "I don't know exactly what." He said, "I know you're going through something on your mind. It's something that's really bothering you, and I just want you to be 100 with me and just tell me what's wrong with you, little brother. I probably can help you out. I probably can help you, you know what I'm saying, come out of that." So I was like, "Nah, ain't nothing wrong." He was like, "Bro, listen to me, bro." He said, "Bro, I'm a man of God. I promise you, I know there's something bothering you. You just moving different. I could tell by it's a lot of things about you. I can just watch you for a couple seconds and tell you that something is a little different. And I just want you, you know, just be 100 and tell me what's up with you, bro. If it's family issues or whatever the case." And the whole time I'm sitting back thinking like, damn, it's really you. I was like, bro, you know, and I just told him straight up, bro. I was like, "Bro, I don't want you to think I'm the type that was trying to go through your stuff or nothing like that, 'cause I'm far from that type of person. But the day I used the phone, bro, I was seeing some stuff on the tablet, bro. And you know, it kind of caught my interest, but at the same time, it kind of bothered me a little bit because I didn't really know what it meant. And I was trying to see, you know, what is it that meant that was wrote down on that paper, bro. But I just didn't know how to ask you without making it seem like I was plunging through your stuff." So he started laughing. He was like, "Nah, little bro." He said basically what that is women in my family or women that other people refer me to that has been through something tragic or something crazy, or their kids got taken away from them. And after I spoke to him for a minute, he said that's how I make me a couple dollars, because they pay me to help them get them through whatever they're going through. And he said, and I know like where I had, what is it gonna take to get them? He said, I know this book of the Bible is like specific for their life. So this is what I need to focus on to get them through whatever it is that they're going through. And he said, and down there by where you seen the money stuff at, he was like, I mean, that's how much they paid me, bro. I don't really have a specific amount that I'm asking for. That's how much they paid me, you know, just over time to help them get through whatever it is that they was going through. You know what I'm saying? It sounded so perfect. And I'm just like, hey, man, I mean, I guess that was like a boulder taken off my shoulder. Probably about 3 months later, this dude getting ready to transfer. The police had came down. At one point, the police used to tell us when we was transferring early, like way before we even locked down. But after people started trying to escape, they stopped and they started telling us that we transferring at night right around lockdown time. This was the time they was telling us when we was still transferring a little early. So they telling us, so they tell him that he's transferring. So he came to my room and told me like, "Yeah, little bro, I'm leaving tonight." I say, "Damn, for real?" He like, "Yeah, man, woo woo woo." So I'm like, "Oh, all right, cool, cool." I'm just chilling in the room. I'm getting ready to go down there and holler. You know, whenever somebody transferring, you go talk to them for a minute, holler at them, kick it with them, stuff like that. So I'm getting ready to go down there and holler at them anyway. Man, this thing, you know, I hear like boots, the sound of shoes scuffling against the ground. So I hear somebody saying, "Come on, man, not the preacher, man. Come on, man, don't do the preacher man like that, bruh. Come on, bruh." So I come out the room, I stick my head out the door, look out the door like that, and I just see like some people downstairs. You know, it clearly looked like somebody fighting. "Don't do the preacher man like that. Come on, bruh, not the preacher. Not the preacher man, bruh. Not the preacher man, bruh." So I go downstairs. I walk straight downstairs, and I don't go down on that end, but I come like around the middle, the front end like this. And as I walk up closer to the thing, bruh, the preacher man was on the ground. He was like climbing up, trying to get back up. It was another dude in our dorm standing over him. It was a white dude, but he had a whole lot of size on him. And he used to do a whole lot of working out. probably strong as I don't know what he was strong. He was strong though. And he was, as the preacher man was sitting up trying to get up, he hit him again. But I could tell he'd been hitting him, preacher man bleeding out of his nose and stuff. He hit him one more time. The preacher man fell down. I looked up at the white boy, his face red as a beet. And he said, you ain't gonna try me like that. You ain't gonna try my mom like that. You ain't gonna try us like that, bro. I want my money before you leave. You're not leaving this dorm tonight until I get my money, bro. You know, you got me and a couple other people that really like kind of looked up to this preacher man, feeling some type of way a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So the other people that used to join the prayer circles all the time, we all locked eyes. So I'm like, man, what's up, bro? So they like, man, you know what I'm saying? So they on some stuff like, man, let's go run down here and pop on this big old white butt. Now, I hate to interrupt the video to address this foolishness, but I got to real quick. Every time I make a video and I'm speaking of somebody white and I refer to him as the white boy, there's always a couple comments that I have to delete or block some people because some people, I guess, feels offended or whatever. And somebody recently was commenting in my Instagram and was like, why do you always refer to white people in prison as white boys, but y'all feel some type of way when we say the N-word or something? So all jokes aside, you know, I'm not in my feelings. I don't care about none of that racial stuff, but just being all the way 100, if we just being real logical here, if I'm telling a story about several people in prison, just say one person is black, one person is white, and I'm trying to describe to my audience what these people look like, how am I going to let you know this is a white boy without me saying, yeah, he was a white boy? Like, just being dead serious, all jokes aside, how? Explain that to me. We go downstairs, dude trying to hit him again, so we done snatched the white boy, pushed him out, like, man, watch out, bro, don't touch him no more. So we help preach up. It's still a couple of them on him, like, if he tries something. So I'm like, bro, what's up, bro? What y'all got going on? So he talking about, man, I don't know. Oh, he got the devil this. Oh, the devil, the spirit done got it. Something he's saying like that. So we take him in this room. It's like 2, 3 of us take him in this room, start helping him get his stuff cleaned up. So the preacher man kicking it to me like he has no idea what's going on. So I'm asking him, I'm like, bro, but you got to tell me something. It's something. I don't think he just went to swinging on you for no reason. And he was like, you remember that thing I told you about, that stuff on that paper? So I was like, yeah. He was like, man, that's all it is. He had put me on the phone with his mama before because his mama was going through something. I helped her get through it and she paid me a couple dollars, bro. He found out and now he trying to tell me he want the money back before I leave. He tripping because I'm getting ready to transfer. So when I came back out the room, I didn't see the white boy. They had him in another room. So I went and found what room they was in. When I went in there, a few of the guys that was in the prayer circle with us, they was already in there talking with him. So when I came in, I'm like, hey, what's going on? The man said that he asked the preacher man to send a text to his mama before. So he said the preacher man texted his mama for him. He said probably like a month or two later, his mama finally came out and told him that the preacher man, she done like grew a liking to him and she's really, really, really into him, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. And that they've been talking lately. So he said he didn't have no problem with it. He said he don't care nothing about it because if his mama happy, hey, he don't care. And then he like, this a man of God, bro. The white boy, that's what he's saying. He like, bro, then this a man of God. He all into God, even though he in prison. I mean, I'd rather my mama, if that's what make her happy, and then he keep her focused and on the right track, I'd rather her talk to him than any of these other clowns, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yeah, so that makes perfect sense. So I'm like, so what the issue is now? He said, man, I talked to my mom like 2 weeks ago. So she asked me, can I go to the hole and check on the preacher, man? So I'm like, what? Go to the hole? So she said, yeah, somebody texted me from another number and told me that he was in the hole, but I had just sent him like $3,200 because he told me that's what he needed in order to get out of prison because his time had already came up, but it was some court costs, some court fees that he had never paid, and that's the only reason they still holding him because they can't let you out the state prison system unless you pay your court costs. So he said his court cost was $3,200. And she said, you know, I sent them the money. And after I sent it to him, I ain't heard from him. His phone is saying like I got a disconnected number. And then somebody texted me and told me he just got into a big fight and now he's in the hole and I ain't heard from him. I'm worried about him. I miss him. So whenever you get a second, can you please go down to the hole and check on him? And he was like, bro, it made me so mad because this mother ain't went to no hole. He's still in the dorm with me. Now that's chain gang game where somebody done got some money. So clearly he done finessed this lady out this $3,000 and done really just pushed her to the side. So he probably changed his number and then text her from the new number acting like he's somebody else talking about he's in the hole right now. So that's going to keep her at bay for a minute and not trying to do the most and worried about why she ain't heard from him. So he was like, I didn't want to hurt her feelings so bad, so I just played along with it. I didn't even tell her he really wasn't in the hole. So I pushed up on him, and he told me straight up, like, oh, he had gave the money to a lawyer or something. So I told him, bro, you going to pay me that money back. You going to give me my mama money back. So he agreed to it. He told me. So then they tell him he transferring tonight. So I asked him what's up with the money. He tell me he ain't got it. That's why I beat him. So I'm like, damn. So the other dudes who were part of the prayer circle, they're like, man, I don't know. It's like, I kind of want to believe it, but it's like, I feel like I can't with the pre. So I told the dudes, I'm like, hold on, bro. I told the white boy, we're going to holler at you. So I tell the dudes who part of the prayer circle, I'm like, hey, come in here, bro. We got to go really get to the bottom of this. So we go back into the room, bro, and they're still cleaning themselves up. I basically told them what dude just said. He say dude lying. So I'm just looking at him, bro, and just out the blue, bro, I felt like he was the one lying. So I was like, listen, bro, I said this in front of the other dudes that was in there. I say, listen, I don't know if y'all knew about this or not, but this is what I seen once upon a time, and this is what dude told me that it meant. So the preacher man looking at me like this, he was looking real crazy when I said that, but I was just fed up, bro. And I just felt like he had some funny business going on. It was time to get to the bottom of it because, bro, we really, really, really looking up to this dude. When I said that, it was so funny because one of the dudes that was in there had seen that before too, and they asked him about it, and he said, man, you told me something totally different about that. You know what I'm saying? He just came out, bro. He was like, all right, look, I'ma just be all the way 100 with y'all, bro. He was like, to be all the way honest, I believe in God, but I don't believe in nothing in the Bible. I don't believe that we will never really understand who God is. I don't believe that you can never really have a real relationship with God because you can never talk to him. Even when people say, oh, God talked to me. He said, man, God ain't talked to nobody. Don't nobody know what he looked like, what his voice sound like. It's just we have feelings from intuition or just feelings in life, and people just automatically say, is God. Bro, when he said that was when I say all of our jaws dropped, bro, I'm talking about we couldn't believe this man was saying this. And he was like, bro, over the years of my life, I realized how the higher powers have been controlling all of us and done programmed us and got us trained. He like, and when you speak the real, don't nobody want to hear it. He said, so many people is caught up into this whole Bible stuff and feeling like they got to live life like this or they got to do this or God blessing them by doing this. He said, so, I mean, when I was younger, and my daddy broke all this down to me and explained it to me, he was like, bruh, that's when I learned that, you know, I hate to say it like this, especially to y'all brothers, man, but you can really control people if you kick this whole preacher thing. He was like, so I can go to talking to you about your life and I can go buy an astrology book and look up whenever you were born, and I can find out some things about you without you even telling me that, and then I can mix that in with these Bible scriptures and make it seem like, oh, God came to me and was telling me this, and that, oh, you need to be doing this, and I be on you every single day about things in the Bible, and then one day out the blue, I can just tell you, you know, baby, this and this going on with the courts, and I need like $3,200. And you're going to feel like you giving it to me is going to be such a big blessing that you're going to get on the back end because you're doing this for somebody that you know is a child of God or whatever the case. Or like, he was like, so that's what I do, bro. Since I've been in prison, I get on the internet, I meet females, and I look for the ones specifically on their profiles that say, must be a God-fearing man. Oh, I love God. Anything got to do with God. He said, those is the females I go at, and I hit them with it. I know the Bible in and out, And then I asked them for thousands of dollars eventually, and it always happens. They give them to me, and I deal with so many females, I really can't remember everything, so that's why I got to write their names and stuff like that down. So one dude tried to fight him. We had to pull him back because he really was hurt, bro. He wasn't even mad. He was really hurt, bro. And, I just told him, like, bro, I mean, you believe what you believe in, but I do believe there is a God, and I do highly believe that you gonna be in trouble with God, bro, playing like that, bro. You can't run around life playing like that. So I talked the other dudes into leaving out because they really want to beat the man. So I done talked the other dudes into, come on, bro, let's leave up out of here. So when we leave out, I'm going to my room. I'm like, I can't believe it. So next thing you know, I look back, I see the same dudes that just left out over there talking to the big white boy. So I'm like, oh man, they about to try to start some stuff. At this point, to be all the way honest, bro, I didn't even care. I didn't even go back over there and try to straighten it out. I went right back up to my room. As soon as I got into the room and took one, when I was on my second step going into the room, I heard, I heard a whole bunch of screaming. I turned around real fast, bust the door back open. I heard somebody else saying the same thing they said the first time. Not the preacher, man. Don't do it to the preacher, man. And when I looked, you seen the preacher, man, taking off running from that bottom range from his room. You had the big white boy and the same little dude that was in the room that I held back that was trying to fight the preacher, man. And they both was busting him with candy bars, chasing him down the range. He was taking off running down the range, and they were busting him with the candy bars. Man, they was getting him for a minute because the officer had already came and told him he transferring, so she had went to the other dorm and was telling them she was the only officer working the yard. So after she left our building, she had to go to this building over here on this side of the yard and go let them people know they need to be getting their stuff ready because they transferring tonight. So, man, they was chasing that dude around the dorm for a minute, man. He lost a whole lot of blood, and the officer finally came back. She came back to tell the people, come on, the lieutenant out here waiting on you. But when she opened the door, she see blood, people chasing each other. They called the code, but the lieutenant was already right there because he was coming to pick them up anyway. He ran in the dawn, he got pepper spray and all that. So he ran in the dawn, shaking up the can of spray, and he's running towards where the white boy and the other little dude chasing preacher man, that man, he bleeding off from the side of his head, his neck, his shoulder, bro. They done stabbed the man everywhere. And when he got close to them, they took off running, went back to their room, so he didn't even have to spray nobody. He hurried up, pulled preacher man out. Preacher man was in medical. He couldn't even transfer no more. He sat in medical for like 6 months before he finally healed up. And then they transferred him off and went to another prison. And I haven't heard from him since then. The two dudes who stabbed him up, I guess they had greased the cameras up or whatever, bro, because when we got locked down, and the officers came in to get the people that did it, they didn't know who did it. So they came in there and tried to finesse us out of the answer. Like, hey, man, whoever did that, y'all better go on man up and tell us who did it because we're going to shake this whole dorm down. We're going to shake this whole dorm down. We're going to get everybody knocked out. We know y'all got contraband in here. So whoever did that, y'all better own up and tell us who did it. And I guess preacher man, he didn't tell who did it because he know he was wrong. So they came in there and they locked up like 3 people. None of these people was the people that did it. They got all the wrong people, put them people on the TIP program for 9 months. And them people ain't had nothing to do with it. Yeah, man, those is the top 3 biggest prison flexers. I'm sure there's much more that I could have went into. I just wanted to get them 3 off my mind because I had just thought about them. And it's your boy Bill. I'm gone.